Yo, what's up? It's your boy Cyrus from MTV. You know me. I'm a representative of the West Coast Collective. And when you guys get thirsty, want to drink a little something, check out drinkglow.com. Drinkglow.com. It's your boy Cyrus. You know how we do. Just fall on through and check out that West Coast Collective. Bake Nasty, I see you, player.
Man, with all the crazy stuff that's going on in the world, I had to create a podcast. It's for me and you to connect dots. You ready? Let's go. You have now entered into
ready.
Everybody know I'm
West Coast Collective Podcast.
Yeah, you talking all that mess. You better be ready. Come correct. Have your facts ready. Everything is relative. But to me, it's about community. It's about respect. It's about honor. It's about intellectuals. It's about motivation. It's bringing it hard. You ready? Let's go.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Yeah, Erica?
Yes.
Robbie?
Yes.
Okay, I got both of y'all on the line. I don't know what's wrong with Miss Leslie's Boost Mobile.
You know what? I'm Boost Mobile.
All right. So this is the West Coast Collective. My name is Bake, and tonight we have two guests, two sisters of mine, one Miss Robbie Jones and Miss Erica Leslie. They are both community activists in our neighborhood. Jerry, you're gonna have to turn off the mic. And they're community activists in our neighborhood. And today, Jerry and I, we were kind of startled when we saw some white supremacists come into the Virginia Park neighborhood and disrupt the meeting. So instead of interpreting false information or giving, the wrong information, we wanted to go straight to the, people who are the organizers. And also, we want to make sure that this never happens to our sisters or our brothers again in the city. So I want to open up the floor with Ms. Robbie Jones. And Robbie, you can, if you would just tell us a little bit about the program and what's going on.
Okay, yeah. First of all, I want to thank you for allowing me to come on and share with everybody. I love our community here in Santa Monica, and it's just an unfortunate thing that happened because this organization was founded as a peaceful organization and an organization to help, and that is the reason that I came aboard the Committee for Racial Justice. The Committee for Racial Justice was, just out there for African American children of color, period. They started out when the wrestling incident at Santa Monica High School occurred, and I don't know if any of you know about that, but that's a whole nother story. But it was a racist incident that happened. Committee for Racial Justice came aboard and just were very supportive of the students. There was a student who actually was a whistleblower, was African American female, and they've been on board ever since. And so since they've been having these workshops, and I sit on their steering committee, and we've been hosting these workshops every second Sunday for years, last 4, 5, 6 years, something like that.
Okay.
And we've never had a situation like this one. But all the workshops have been about race, either about racism, some sort of injustice, that sort of thing. And we've never had this situation happen before.
Okay. Now, first of all, I'd just like to commend you and the others for being active in the community. Miss Leslie, I'm sure when she talks, she's going to rip me a new one like she already did about how come I'm not participating enough. So
yes.
We're going to start doing that starting today.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about what occurred and, what took place this day?
Well, we had a workshop on white privilege, which we know it's really kind of been a conversation around the country.
Especially since Trump got in the office.
Yeah, exactly, that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've been having that conversation within our organization. You know, we've always been kind of abreast of that, but we decided to have this workshop on white privilege to help white folks to understand that they are, you know, it is a such thing as white privilege. And for those who didn't think that they would come and get information and find out, you know, more information about it. And for, you know, black people or, you know, the white people who were not, you know, don't feel like they were privileged, you know, just to disseminate information. That's what this workshop was for.
Okay.
Just any kind of information on white privilege. We had speakers, we had videos, and very good videos that spoke to the subject. And generally, that's what we do. We either have speakers, panelists, or videos that speak to the subject in which we're discussing for the evening. And so we started getting ready for the workshop. Everybody's sitting down in these masked men and come rushing past the registration desk. We have people come in, and, you know, when you walk in, you sign in and, you know, have a seat. And they rush past, they refuse to sign in, and they had these bandanas across their face.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
And yeah. So they sat down, and then they had these two other people with them that were filming from their cell phone. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, we being the group that we are, you know, we invite everybody to come and have the conversation.
Absolutely.
Because that's basically what it is, a conversation and information. And if you can get educated on something, that is what we're about. And so once we started the workshop, they immediately started being disruptive.
Okay.
They were, you know, shouting racial slurs towards Jewish people. They were, you know, just mouthing back and forth, you know, to themselves. So we continued to try to maintain some control.
Right.
But my goal in the whole thing was, we gotta get this information out. You know, that was my thing.
Yeah.
I know there are people who don't want it to be talked about. They don't want to have the conversation, but I knew that the people who showed up definitely wanted to have the conversation.
Right.
Our audience, you know.
Yes.
So these knuckleheads that showed up, I really was, you know, my focus was not to give them this attention that they were seeking. You know, they were being rude and disruptive, and we let them know that. But the main thing was to, you know, try to make everybody comfortable, our audience that came to hear the topic. And so that's what we continue to try to do.
Yeah.
And, you know,
okay.
We successfully finished the meeting, you know, and it was, you know, those who felt threatened or who felt uncomfortable left, unfortunately. But there were a lot of people who did stay because they also felt the same way. They refused to let these knuckleheads have this attention.
Right. And, you know, this is Santa Monica, and we're a very diverse community. We are probably one of the more tolerant communities in the country. And so to see this is really shocking, you know. You know, even on our Facebook, we got people in Atlanta and other places like saying, whoa, it's really going down in Santa Monica. Now, we know that there's racism in Santa Monica, but it's always been, you know, low key, you know, it hasn't been so overt. It's until these times today. So it's just a kind of crazy thing. Hey, JB, would you like to ask Miss Robbie a question? You got to unmute yourself.
Yes. So.
Can you speaking up?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Wait, hold on one second. JB.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you gotta have to speak up because I gotta put it to the microphone.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
You know what? It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work because they're on the phone. But that's okay.
Okay.
Okay. We can't hear him because you're on the phone.
Yeah, you know, I'm new to. Is that Miss Leslie?
Yes, that's me.
Okay. Let me. I'll tell you what, JB, why don't you ask me the question and then I'll interpret it. I'll relay it to the ladies. Okay. What's your question, bro?
Okay, so my question is, was there at any point in time while they were there being disruptive, you know, did they feel
at any time that you guys, at any time it was disruptive, did you guys feel
threatened?
Did you guys feel threatened?
You know, I think there were people that were feeling threatened.
Mute, baby.
Myself, I've been in the presence of this kind of behavior and worse before.
Mm-hmm.
So I personally didn't feel threatened. We had from my understanding, the park administration or whomever had called the police. When I arrived for the workshop, the police were there and they left. They did come back, and we haven't yet, I guess we don't know who called them yet, but they did come back, and I came outside to speak with them and to let them know that pretty much it was, they were being disruptive, but as a Black person, I've seen that before. And I've also seen worse behavior sometimes at other community meetings.
Yeah.
So like I said, my whole objective was to make sure that this conversation took place, and to those who came to hear it.
Right.
And to actually, just like you said, Santa Monica, thinks that they're this progressive liberal city, and there are some issues here that they do need to address.
Right.
So that's the whole thing for having this conversation, especially for those who want to have it and who want to help.
Right.
And so I wasn't trying to give them any play on that, and I also felt that for me, as a Black person, to let the police officers come in, I didn't know what would happen.
Yeah, yeah.
So I knew that it would disrupt the whole thing, and I knew that, the meeting would be shut down. I wasn't sure that, anything would be accomplished. So, my thing was just to let them know that we had it. We had it under control, but if they could stay close by. And I made sure that they were there at the end to make sure that those who did stay, and we're so grateful for the people who did stay, that they were able to go to their cars safely. That's all, in case, these knuckleheads call somebody or whatever. I just made sure that the police were there to make sure that everybody got to their cars safely. Okay. And that took place.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, so to sum up your...
So, no, I didn't personally feel threatened. There were those who did. I wasn't trying to put anybody in jeopardy or anything. I just, we let, just simply told, people who feel uncomfortable that they could leave.
Okay.
But because the Committee for Racial Justice has been doing this work for so long, we were standing our ground.
Right, right. Okay, so to answer to sum up your question, JB, Ms. Robbie basically is saying it was light work. All right, Ms. Leslie.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, can you chime in? Although you weren't there, you participate in the group, and so I wanted to ask you, what, we talked off the phone. So what would you like to see from community members that you haven't been seeing as far as being participants and the like?
Well, I mean, different places and different feedback from races of other, other ethnicities, is basically like they don't see us. So they think that we don't count. I'm in meetings where people say, well, how many Latinos are there? And what's the demographics? In other words, our numbers are little, so they don't hear our voices. They think we don't exist. Either we don't exist or we don't care. So what I would like to see is more of us and more input so they can hear our voices. You know what I'm saying? So then that they don't have to assume that our Black men don't care about their families. They don't care about our children. They, they make the assumptions. They go into there are people that go into boardrooms and say that because there are so many single parent households, that's the reason for the achievement gap, saying that there aren't existing fathers that are actively parenting. And I need those parents, those fathers, because you won, to get up and make your voice heard. Because it's not just about your children. All of our children are your children.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. These are our children. And I don't care if you gave birth to them. I don't care if you helped conceive them. These are still our black children that need to be cared for. As a community, we need to step up and make our voices heard and voice concerns for them and let them know that they are cared for and they are loved. Instead of having one or two sisters here and there constantly being the repetitive voice and say, oh, that's her again. Oh, she's she's speaking for those people that don't have the guts to speak up and not going to even come or make the trek to the boardroom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or to the parents, or to the, you know what I'm saying? Oh, it's just her again. She's speaking for them other people that scared to show their face.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's powerful.
We need more. Yeah, it is. It's you know what I'm saying? Those, because Robbie speaks for those that are too scared to speak for themselves, and I put my neck out there too. Mm-hmm. And I'm actively parenting children. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And we live in an environment where we have had things that have been retaliatory, where you speak up and then people try to attack you, whether they try to call child protective services on you, whether they, you know what I'm saying? It's too many different things that have happened actively in this community with our black families and our black children that we can't sit idly by if we really want to see a change happen. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, just like you said, all the gangsters, all the ones that say they hard and all this other stuff, be hard and speak up for your kids. How about that? Yeah.
Well, and I totally agree. And, like I said, I told you earlier, from this day forward, because I was talking to my mom and I said, you know what, Mom, I didn't know about this thing, but if something had happened with Robbie or any of the ladies I know, and I wasn't there, I would feel really terrible. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't protecting my sisters, my community, and my people. You know what I'm saying? So with saying that, what can we do from this platform? Meaning, I created this podcast so that me and Jerry and other friends can have a dialogue, but we could also disseminate information. I would like for you guys to know that whatever you got going on in Santa Monica, you feel free to pass me on that information so that I can give it out. I can give it out to the people who are connected with this platform, and more people can know about it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me say this, Oliver. In 1992, I created an African American parent student staff support group, long name, at Santa Monica High School for that reason, to disseminate information, to bring our group of people together, because we know that there are issues affecting, and we definitely know it now, affecting African American children that don't affect other children. So we needed the parents to come out, and the guardians and the community, period. We needed that support. Yeah. And so we're still struggling with that way too much, because people feel like, they got choir rehearsals, they got the movie nights, they got whatever. And I'm always saying to people, okay, I get it that there's a lot to do in California, but, especially Southern California, but, if you can't make it, what about, and we get a lot of grandmothers that are raising kids. So, well, what about your girlfriend? What about single dads? What about your guy friends, that can come to the meeting instead of you? Send somebody. Just don't not show up. Yeah. Send somebody to at least get the information. Yeah. And so that's the whole thing with these Sunday meetings that we hold. Committee for Racial Justice, ever since its inception, has been posting in the Santa Monica newspaper, the Santa Monica Daily Press. They put a press release as to what their workshop is going to be. And we used to walk and leaflet, because I had convinced them that they need to walk the community, white folks and black folks. And we walked the community and disseminated flyers in Pico neighborhood. We also have flyers up at the library, in the community, and at Virginia Avenue Park, and at the churches most of the time.
Okay, are you guys on are you guys on social media? Because that's where a lot of the lazy folks is at.
We just got our Facebook page. Well, not just got it, but we just got somebody to kind of administer, the administrator for our Facebook page. We've had it. We just didn't have an administrator. But yeah, we do have our Facebook page.
Okay.
And everybody is not on Twitter though.
What's that fake Facebook page?
Committee for Racial Justice.
Committee for Racial Justice. Okay. All right.
And it may be committee with the letter 4. I can't remember right now. Committee, because we had 2. We had 1, and then we had to give up that one because nobody. And we started a new one. So I think it's committee with the number 4 for racial justice.
Okay.
Either way, it's on there. And also the African American Parent Student Staff Support Group. And I'll tell you, Jerry asked me, was I did feel threatened? I felt offended. You know, even though, you know, you as a black person, you stand up here, you're always waiting for them to say the N-word because that's, you know, that's the word.
Yeah.
They didn't say that because I had the microphone. I was the question and answer moderator. But, you know, I kept waiting, you know, thinking they're getting ready to say this and then what's going to happen. But I also felt threatened because my late husband and I used to have a program for African American male boys up at the park. And I kept thinking about them, you know, and how dare them come in there and disrupt this area, this very space where these African American children and Latino children play there too. But I'm thinking particularly about the boys we had the mentor program for.
Yeah.
That they came and disrupted that space. So that really upset me, and also, you know, it offended me that they were talking about some of my Jewish sisters and brothers.
Yeah.
You know, it offended me to the utmost where I wanted to go off too, but it was more important to me to get the information out, and I had to keep focused. But the other thing, there were 3 males there, 3 African-American males. They weren't, one was, is new kind of to the community, but the others, or maybe it was 4, but those brothers were there, and I didn't feel like they were going to let anything go down, so I did feel kind of comfortable. But naturally, you feel more comfortable with, you know, the brothers that you know from your community being there and being supportive. And I did when I first arrived and I saw the mask, I texted a few, including Daryl Good at NAACP, but I texted a few people just to let them know what was going on.
Okay.
And where I was.
Okay, because
yeah.
I know, and I'm speaking for JB right now because he can't reach you.
Okay.
But I know that today when he found out, he posted it. He posted the paper up on his page, and he called out. And I mean, they're going crazy on his Facebook page right now, and everybody wants to make sure to show up, and so to show up for this next meeting.
But let's be careful. This is the thing. This is the thing. This group called Red Elephant, and amongst others, there's others all around the country, but this group here, and I'm sure there's others here in Santa Monica.
Do they have a group in Santa Monica?
They want to incite, I mean, I'm sure they do. They want to incite, you know, bad behavior.
Right. Well, but maybe we can be the folks who say, nah, you know, you can't come in with bandanas on your face. You know,
this is the deal. We just did a conference Zoom call last night with an attorney in Leimert Park, and she was letting us know some things that we could do. She's also coming August 6th. Nana Gamasi. She's coming August 6th that is what our workshop will be, August 6th, to talk about ways that we can deal with people like this.
Okay.
So we're talking about nonviolent ways. But one of the things, it's funny that you say that, because one of the things that we will be implementing is you don't come in hiding your face.
Right.
For your protection and ours, you cannot cover your face when you come in here, and that is at the door.
See,
you will not be let in.
And is there security? Like, because nowadays they got mass shootings and that kind of stuff. So if can people just come in? Hmm?
We are in the it was before, but like I said, we have our measures that we're taking now to be more careful. So we are asking the community members to come, and we want security. We want to get we don't have any paid per se security other than we don't want the police department to come in because we want volunteers. So we're looking for volunteers for security. Mm-hmm. All around the park. We're also looking for, participants and people to be involved and to be just checking out the whole situation.
Right.
But the main thing is that we get this information out and we get people having this dialogue and talking and, to change things. We're trying to be an operation of change, an effort to change this whole narrative of racism and Black people and, shootings. And because Committee for Racial Justice, out of it came an organization called Coalition for Police Reform. And people probably don't know that either, but we've been meeting with the police chief and the city manager for over a couple of years now as well. Okay. Changing those de-escalation policies and a lot of policies and things, a lot of things that this group have done. A lot of people in Santa Monica that stay inside, hide, and just think that it's going to be okay somehow without them. I don't know. They just feel like it's going to be okay. We've been doing the best we can, but we need help now. We've always needed it, but we really need it now.
Right. Whoa, that's a lot. Erica,
it's a lot. So the main thing is for people to find out when, come to the workshop, come ready to participate in the sense of roll up your sleeves, not fisticuffs and all that, but come ready to just get this message across to all people.
Right.
Get whatever the message is, because our children are suffering for all of this. I mean, they're the ones who's supposed to be leaving all this too, and they are not going to have a clue.
Yeah. Erica, is there anything that you want to say before I have Ms. Robbie close out and give us all the information that we need to reiterate all the information that we need to get to folks?
Hey, I said what I needed to say. We need folks to come out. Because if everybody came out, they wouldn't have the audacity to come and try to do what they did. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Absence, your absence makes it possible. It makes it possible. Yeah. Don't be outraged now. Be outraged, Be outraged before that nobody is showing up for us. They came because they saw that y'all wouldn't. They came because they said, ain't nobody coming. We can come in up here and act the fool.
Yeah.
So that's what they did, because they saw what, ain't enough people up in here to, and not because it weren't men, but because they saw that they could get away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's around the country. I think this particular group, I'm not sure they even knew where they were coming. I think they thought they were coming to just some seminar, but they knew the title. They knew that they could come and they could incite something with that title. That was because we've had other titles that have talked about the achievement gap and Black children and Black lives. We've even had Black Lives Matter come. We didn't have any situations at all. So this group, because of I think our current administration, they are probably popping up everywhere. And Santa Monica is not going to be exclusive. They're going to be everywhere.
And so, what's the name? Robbie, what's the name of this white supremacist group?
Yeah, do your research on them. They're called Red Elephant.
Red Elephant. Okay.
Red Elephant. It's in the article that is on social media right now.
Okay.
But they're called Red Elephant.
Okay. And
from my understanding, they're Trump supporters, and most of them are out of Orange County. So know.
Yeah. I almost got killed out there by some white boys in Orange County. Yeah. So I know. Okay, so we're gonna close up, but I just want to thank you so much, Robbie, and Miss Leslie for your service in the community. We can't thank you enough. I know, like Miss Leslie was saying, hey, I have not been a participant, and I need to be. I thank God that I've afforded some time now where I can be more of a service. And so I'm dedicating myself, and I'm telling you guys now that I will. So I will be there. Now, what day and what time at Virginia Park?
Okay, this next workshop is August 6th.
August 6th.
It's on a Sunday evening at 6 o'clock. We usually have a potluck, and everybody can bring something. If you don't have nothing to bring, just come. But we have food there. And then we start our program at 6:30. And like I said, this meeting will be with the attorney Nana Gamafi is to come in, and there will be somebody there from the Anti-Defamation League and maybe a couple other speakers. But they will be coming to talk about how do we deal with, as a community, as a city, as a whoever, how do we deal with the situation and people like this that come and disrupt and try to incite riots and different things like that. Yeah. Because they really, the bottom line to me is you don't want the information to get out. But guess what? It's going to get out. It's out, and people want to respond to it. The majority of the room was white people that were there to find out what can they do. Yeah. Most of our workshops are white people. Even when the superintendent came to do a workshop on African American male boys, basically he did it on achievement gap, but it was showing where our males are way below English learners. When he came out to show his plan, it's mainly white people that come out, but they are down for helping our community. So I think I'm like Erica. We need to come out and show them that we do care. That we care. We want to care. We want to do what we can, whatever that is. Everybody can do something. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can do. It's only one night out the month. Yeah. So I'm making a call out right now to all you so-called hard dudes, all you so-called thugs and riders and gangsters, and all y'all that put in work on your own people. It's time to put in work for your community. You understand? And so you're going to meet me there. I need y'all to meet me there on the 6th at 6 o'clock. And then, so, we're going to make this thing happen. Because like the ladies say, it's not just about us or the community, but it's also about the future and our children of that community. Right. So, again, ladies, thank you. Go to our Facebook page, go to my Facebook page, but go to Committee for Racial Justice and look in the paper, Santa Monica Daily Press. Usually a week before the workshop, there's a press release that goes out. Okay. And what's your Facebook page, just for those who don't know? I'm just Robbie. I'm Robbie Jones. Okay, she's not just Robbie. She's Robbie M.F. Jones, goddamn. Oh man. That's all right. I know how to delete folks. That's right. I'm like, don't send me no emails. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, don't spam me. I want to thank you. For doing this. This is your part for the community that you do, and I think that's a wonderful thing. Yeah, when I ran into you, Robbie, I told you I was going to start doing this. And it's just taking me some time because you know how Big Mama was all down and everything. So it's just taking me some time to, structure and organize my thing. But yeah, we're going to build this platform up. And like I say, I hope that it can be a place where if there's any kind of conflict, we can have debates. We can talk. We can promote whatever anybody's doing in our community. That's why it's called the West Coast Collective, because I want to have a safe place where anybody can come, speak their truth, be heard, you know what I'm saying, and also be prepared to, be challenged as well. If it's not correct, then we should be men and women enough
to listen and disseminate our information and let the people decide what's right and what's wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I think this time in our country, Black folks need, we thought it was 8 years Obama was in office. I kept saying, come on, y'all, we got, we only got a window of time. But you know what? We got to get it cranking. I mean, we are sitting back, watching TV, waiting for somebody else to make a move. And say, we can't do that.
Yeah.
We can't do that anymore. And that's why it's great that you have this podcast, because it will give people not only ideas of things that they can do, but, hopefully you will, always have, people want to know what can they do to get involved. You'll be able to have that information handy for them.
Right. And like you say, see, I got your number. I got Miss Leslie's number. See, and that's what it's about, networking and communicating, and being there for one another. So, and that's what we created this thing for,
Okay.
All right. So again, we appreciate you, ladies. I'm gonna wrap up the show, and I don't want to hold y'all too long. I know y'all got to get where y'all get in bed.
Yes.
You said get in bed.
Yeah.
Because we have work to do.
Okay, because now that we've taken care of this business, now we're gonna get into the raunchy stuff. We about to cut this off.
Okay,
we're gonna talk about R. Kelly.
Can I get off?
Huh?
Can I get off now? Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. I'll talk to y'all soon. All right.
Good night, y'all. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Good night, Robbie.